Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic / non-classic. This is episode number 944 and Doubleshot number 836. Correct? No, 38, yeah. 830, okay, yeah. Two DC trades, like I mentioned in my last video. First up, it is a Batman-related trade. This is Batwoman, Volume 3, The Fall of House of Kane. This contains issues 12 through 18 of Batwoman Volume 2. Written by Margie Bennett, artwork by Fernando Palico. Also, gotta love this back cover artwork. It's really good. Batwoman riding her own bat cycle. Yeah, the other artist on here is Scott Kowalski. This cover right here is done by Lee Barmaggio. I think it's pronounced his name. Yep. This, simply put, is the conclusion of this particular series. Unknown why this series ended last year. Yeah, it was one of many titles DC's had to axe last year for a lot of them for really no reason at all. This one especially because, well, Batwoman just appeared in live action in. I haven't watched the crossover yet, so don't spoil it for me. It's the Elseworlds crossover, which introduced Batwoman to that particular. And I've heard I think it was just this past week, that it's been confirmed she's definitely getting a TV show. So I'm thinking, though, why did you win the comic class even though we're probably getting a TV show? Who knows? Yeah, with this, basically, we kind of wrap up the whole thing with Alice, who is, in reality, Kane's twin sister. Yep, Alice, the character who made her debut back in Greg Rucka's Alology storyline. Yep, she comes. This is actually her sort of ending. And the whole thing with Alice is that, well, it's kind of a split personality. But here's the weird thing about this character. Despite the fact, yes, this character does speak like she's Alice from Alice in Wonderland, she has never met the Mad Hatter. Or Tweedledee Tweedledum. Or the White Rabbit. Yeah, screw that character. But this character should at some point met the Mad Hatter. But she's never met him at all, which is kind of weird. And of course, now I should point out, a majority of this series has Julia Pennyworth, the daughter of Alfred Pennyworth, acting as sort of like Batwoman's eyes and ears, kind of like how Alfred does when Batman's in the field. So that kind of does make sense there. You at least got to use this character. And this version of Julia Pennyworth was created by Scott Snyder. She first showed the pages of Batman Eternal. And she became a regular character after that. She was used frequently toward the end of. She was used very well toward the end of Scott Snyder's run for Batman. She even popped up for some issues of Detective Comics. Well, when Batman was when he was basically an officer of the law, when he was Jim Gordon, the Mask. Yeah, because the whole thing with Alice, she decided to call Batwoman's cousin Batman. Yep. And, of course, they get into a brief scuffle and says, Batman, let me handle this. It's my sister. She's blood. And, okay. He says, okay, you want to handle this? Fine. Strike two. He's like, strike two. Strike one was Clayface. Though he does not know the fact that Clayface is freaking alive. So, yeah. At least Margie Bennett actually keeps up what goes on in the Detective Comics. Yeah, at least that's one thing I got. I'll give my final thoughts in this particular run when I finish wrapping this. When I finish talking about this. Yep. But yeah, we also have her hooking up Ray Montoya. That was actually a fantastic idea Margie Bennett to do by hooking back up Ray Montoya, because why not? And of course, we also have her first love interest that was from the beginning of this series, the woman who runs her own island. She pops up in here for a couple issues in Gotham, and she wants to get back with Kane, with Kate, and she actually turns her down. Because she first be Batwoman, she doesn't mention her name Montoya, mind you, but she does mention she doesn't want anything to do with her because of how stuff she found on her island. Yep. Oh yeah, and plus also she sanctioned a murder. Yep, a murder. Yeah, killed a warlord for various things. And she's supposed to be the mother of all warlords. Yep. This overall is really good. This book, a 9.5 out of 10. Also, guys, I love that we have the Kane Manor show up in here, and apparently it's in ruin. I don't exactly know why it's in ruin. Unlike in the case of what happened at Superman, I heard that the reason Wayne Manor was in ruin because apparently Batman didn't need the manor for some reason, even though that was his freaking home. This, possibly due to bad memories due to Kate's mother's death. That's a possibility. Yep. Okay, now my final thoughts on this particular series. Well, for one thing, I think having it last for 18 issues, well, if Marge Bennett wanted to end her run, fine. She did a fantastic job with this run. And when I heard the series coming, I tweeted her that I was looking forward to this, and she gave a like to it, which I was actually quite surprised. Yeah, I'm actually talk about this. I'm gonna ask her about that when I get a chance to see her on Friday when I go to Comic-Con. I'm gonna take the first 2 volumes of Batwoman with me. Now, this is the third and last volume of this particular series. Like I said, because the series ended after 18 issues. Possibly due to low sales, but I don't really know the exact reason why the series was canceled. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the series. No, it was actually really good. Unlike the previous one, this one I gotta give high praise for. At least it actually brings up stuff that happens in the pages of another comic book. And it actually feels like it's part of the Batman comic universe. Unlike in the case of the previous one where half the time it wasn't. Yes, because you have stuff like the Night of Owls, which she should have took part in that. Nope, never did. We also had death of the family. We had the Joker running around and he doesn't go after Batwoman for some reason. Yeah, there was no explanation for that at all. Despite the fact she's in frickin' Gotham and no accounts with the Joker. Go figure. I mean, at least the book has sort of a loose connection because the book is spin off from the Detective Comics. So it's great though. You have to have stuff referencing in the book. Plus you have Tinian basically. Well, he actually covered the book. The first 2 or 3 issues. I'm not really sure why they hadn't basically come onto the book as a co-writer, even though it was announced by DC Comics when this comic was announced. I'm trying to think. I think it was roughly about 2 years ago. Yeah, about 2 years ago when this comic was first announced, and Marge Bennett was basically going to be the writer of the book. I was so happy because I love this writer because she is so fantastic at writing. Yeah, the only book I've read where I read her Red Sonja book, which was fantastic. I've read a handful of her books. She's actually a really damn good writer. It's a shame that this book got canceled 18 issues. I kind of wish it would last longer, but nope, we have to end it. After only 18 issues. It did have a one-shot to start off with, I have Rebirth one-shot, which is something. Yeah, it started around the same time as Justice League America. Yeah, it started pretty much almost the same exact time, and they both books ended around the same time too. This book was actually published monthly, and Justice League America was published twice a month. Yeah, this came out once a month. But this was fantastic. Okay. And then moving on to the book by Grant Morrison from the publication of Vertigo. This is The Invisibles, Volume 6, Kissing Mr. Quimper. I didn't make up that title. That's literally what this thing is. And yes, there is a character, Mr. Quimper, in here. And yes, someone does kiss him. So the title is pretty accurate. This book contains issues 14 and 22 of The Invisibles Volume 2. Written by Grant Morrison. Artwork by Ivy Reyes. Fantastic artist he is. And Chris Winston. Because the fact this is Vertigo, we have tons of nudity in here. Oh my gosh. It's almost every page is full of nudity in here. Well, that's Vertigo for you. Is there swearing in here? Not really, no. Mostly this book is known for lots of nudity and sex. Yes, as a matter of fact, there are 2 characters who almost every page they're on, they're usually just talking to each other or they're just having sex. Yes, frequently. I have nothing against anybody who likes the series, but the only reason I got this book is because of Grant Morrison. Yeah. But I don't know the full context of the Invisible series, but what I can tell in here is that the Invisibles taking a break from something, I'm not sure what it was, and they're just basically just chillaxing, having lots and lots of sex, And you have a general who apparently has connections to experiments involving aliens, which I think is a little weird. Also, when you first see a general in here, the book opens up very weirdly with two people on the astral plane. Yeah, the view is the astral plane. One is a general, like one is a colonel. Looks like he's from a German general. The other, of course, is another general who looks like he's wearing like everything but a pair of pants. Yeah, there's really no reason why he's not wearing pants. Well, this is the astral plane, so yep. So you have a guy who looks like he's wearing a suit, but no pants. Yeah. As for the explanation for this, well, he was actually in his bed sleeping. Yep. And so they had to have this meeting in the astral plane for some reason. I have no idea why. I didn't know the full context of Invisible, so I didn't know what the heck is going on. Aside from the fact that I was reading this book, all I saw was sex and nudity. I had no problem with that. It's Vertigo. It's one of his trademarks. Is sex nudity. Though it's also known for violence and foul language. Though unlike in Marvel Max, where violence is basically one of his trademarks, not the case of Vertigo. No, I never counted that many books. As a matter of fact, many books I've read that published by Vertigo, hardly any of them had violence in them. Mostly just had some. There was some nudity. There was nudity and sex, definitely in some comic books, and there's some foul language, but no violence, which is kind of interesting. I mean, you probably think a book like Hellblazer have violence, but from what I've read, not much. Yep. Of course, that book, over the course of 300 issues, had, of course, a dozen writers with it. This book had one. Yeah, and 1422, there's actually the end of the second volume. Because when they relaunched afterwards, they decided to release numbering backwards of volume 3 for some reason. I don't know why. It's particularly very bizarre. But if you're like I said, the only reason I got this, Grant Morrison. But I'm gonna give this. I like the artwork in here. It's really good. Ivy Reyes does a fantastic job with this artwork. I'm gonna give this book roughly a 8 out of 10. I would give it higher, but I don't know much about the Invisibles anyways. That's the thing. I don't know much about them. Grant Morrison, the only reason I got this because I'm a fan of Grant Morrison. I've read a ton of this guy's work. And I might bring this book with me. I'm asking, like, what was the original concept of the Invisibles? Yeah, they're a group of, from what I can tell from the book, they're a group of people, I mean, aside from having sex, they're known for being very, kind of like rebellious teenagers, so this is published in the 90s, so, okay, fine. So yeah, that's it for this particular review. I have about roughly 4 more videos coming today, basically a review of Dragon Ball Super, Boruto, hopefully case closed, and another comic corner. Okay? But do see you next few. Bye.